Hey, our StarCraft once again. Here we are with another overlay test prototype. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my first couple ones, I've been working on this little technique. And again, this video is really just a kind of a practice, just to see if people like this general technique I'm doing here. I finally worked it up to doing an actual game. This is just a gold or bronze level game, one of each here. Now, for those of you who haven't seen one of my overlay prototypes before this point, I'm going to walk you through what we have up here. Now, I've recorded the main screen, so I left the production tab open basically as long as possible. Sometimes I will flip to the unit tab, but that's not all that important. Basically, I just want to maximize screen real estate, because I was watching some VODs on YouTube, and I found that people just didn't use the screen as well as they could have. I mean, you always see people put like their little graphic over top of the replay bar, and I thought that that spot could be used for extra information. So you see in the top right hand corner, you have the mineral counts, gas counts, and food counts for both teams, both red and blue. If you go down from that, you'll see the income tab over top of where the harvest or where the replay bar is. So you have your mineral income, you have your gas income, and you have your harvester count. Could be potentially useful for seeing when people are particularly with Zerg, when they're gonna drone up, because I know that's an issue. I don't play Zerg myself, but I know that is an issue for particular Zergs. The income tab is perfectly synced up with the game, whereas the mineral bars up in the top right are just about 4 or 5 seconds behind. Like I said, this is a prototype primarily, so I wasn't too concerned with doing absolutely perfectly. If this continues to get liked by people, like if people enjoy it, I've been getting good feedback so far, I will develop this into I'll do a full high-level game where everything will be synced perfectly. So we'll see how that goes. On the bottom right corner, I've decided I'm going to paste over the command buttons, because really that doesn't give you any information. As long as I don't paste over what I'm currently selected on, it's not really an issue. So there I've put army size. Obviously it's 0, but as soon as some lings pop out, I mean, we have some coming out right now from the red. If you look at the production tab, that's going to pop in just a couple seconds. There we go. There's just, again, that box isn't perfectly synchronized yet. Really just a test. Now the other final overlay I've done is I've actually recorded the separate hotkeys, hotkey setups for the two teams. So right now you can see blue here on the bottom. Always blue is on the bottom. You can see the hotkeys they're using. Now in this particular video, red doesn't have any hotkeys, so you're not going to see them. But normally I had intended to record them, but I picked a game where red didn't have any. So, unfortunately, the first time I recorded this replay, I recorded this cast, or my speaking live while I was controlling it, but the audio messed up, and so I'm having to re-record this audio over top of the totally rendered video. So I don't have perfect control of this. I don't have any control of the screen at the moment. So it's going to be a little bit awkward. Now, about a third of the way through this game so far. I mean, so far they're doing basically the exact same builds. Red just kind of deviated right now by building some roaches. Red's kind of more aggressive. They've got a more aggressive overlord pathing. Trying to catch up on this game in terms of casting, because I've been explaining this technique so far. You're going to see some reds poke through with some roaches pretty soon, I think. Blue's got a lot of larvae and got double gas going, so I would expect they're going to tech up any second now to lair and then tech to mutalisks. Oh, here comes some red roach harass just right now. Sorry, like this cast is just kind of just a proxy casting. It's just to kind of demonstrate this technique. If you don't like it and you just want to look at the info, you can mute me, because you're not going to lose anything. You don't need any of my input, because you have all the information there on screen. If people like this, I've kind of enjoyed doing these videos, trying to put together this idea I had over breakfast one morning. I might continue to do them. So we'll see if people actually like them. We have a big wave of lings incoming. Gonna probably take care of these 3 roaches, but there is another 5 coming into the fen. The red roaches should be able to clean this up fairly easily and continue to put pressure delaying this blue expansion. Now, blue had intended to expand, but it was blocked by a couple lings, just a pair of lings earlier on. But so I am looking to see them expand any second now, but red keeps putting too much pressure. They're not able to do it. There, finally, we have a lair just starting for blue. I would have liked to have seen that a long time ago. They have lots of gas. Had they got mutalisks earlier, I mean, you would have easily shut this down, and they could have got back onto their expansion path, or his planned expansion, much sooner, because it's been a long time now till he gets up to mutalisks and his expansion. So if you look at army size, red has a larger army. You can see that in the bottom corner. We finally have an expansion. We finally have a red expansion, but I don't like that transfer. There just wasn't enough drones there to warrant it. It wasn't near saturated enough yet. So hopefully he continues to make drones to warrant that transfer, but he's not at the moment. Harvester counts are very similar. They are looking to do the same build at this point. Blue's just a little bit farther behind in terms of where they are. Now they've basically caught up. Here goes their second expansion, but there are far more upgrades for red. I mean, you see Zergling speed going up there. Oh, here comes red. They're going to be able to get this hatchery. Oh, I think so. I think he's going to get it. And, oh, they've shut it down again. Look at that. But there's more blue roaches. Oh, he's going to back off. He's not going to follow them into the map. So red shuts down that expansion again. So it's going to be very hard for blue to keep up now, because their plan's kind of been shot down twice. But they do have the bigger army. So he's not really changing what he wants to do with the changing pace of the game. He's got a lot of gas, but his minerals are lower. I'd like to see a couple mutalisks pop, but he has no spire either, which is a big issue. While you see the spire just went down for red, you can see that in the production tab. And there's the blue spire, so they're technically mutalisks at about the same time. Red is starting to get a harvester count. They're up 8 at the moment, which can starting to make a big difference in terms of income. I mean, you can see red is drastically ahead at this point in income. They're a good 200 minerals a minute, so that can make a large difference when you times it over a couple minutes. Spine crawlers from red, where are those going down? Let's look. Oh, at the front, you can see one right there. There's a spine crawler. I'm not sure I like that position for the spine crawler, because we do know blue has a lot of roaches, and he can just poke the back rocks, basically making that an absolutely worthless spine crawler. But I guess he's looking, I don't know what, that seems like an awkward spot for spine crawlers to me. Oh, another transfer. They're up 10 harvesters now. The spire is about to finish for blue, and he does have drones on the way, so he's finally got his minerals down. Food's very even. It's a very, very close match so far, though I fear red is going to get those mutalisks out first and really shut down anything blue wants to do here. They have wasted drones on these 3 spine crawlers. It seems like a massive waste, because they're not going to be much use if they go towards the rocks. But we do have some creep spread by red. They were behind in the creep spread earlier on, but now they're actually catching up. They're pushing the middle of the map. Red's doing everything they want to do. So even though the food count is only 1 different, I would be shocked if red loses this game. We have, weapons. We have flying weapons going down, so it looks like he's definitely 100% going to drop some mutalisks. He's got barrel for those roaches. He's looking good. He's looking very, very good. You can see they're doing very similar builds at this point. Drone count is now caught up and are even. Overlord's the same. Roach is about the same. Queens are the same. So, I mean, they're both very, very high on gas. They're both going to go mutalisks at about the same time. Blue is expecting it. You can see he's dropping a spore crawler. There they are. 7 mutalisks for red. And it looks like they're all up here at this top base. They're going to come down, and if they can get out ahead of those spore crawlers, well, they're not going to get there before the spore crawlers, but they can do some damage soon. Red is looking to take a 3rd base. Yeah, definitely. Their income is actually dropped behind blue. Blue is now out earning the red team. But at this point, though, red has a large lead, 20 food, and a lot of that a lot of that is Mutalisks, or going to be Mutalisks, so blue is in serious trouble. Oh, they've got Mutalisks up of their own, but those Mutalisks aren't going to have, there's going to be far less of them, and they're not going to be upgraded. So blue is in a very sticky spot right now. Very, very sticky. Okay, so we see the Mutalisks are collecting down here at the bottom of the map. Roaches are, looks like on the mini-map, looks like they're starting to push out. There's the Spore Crawler. Those Mutalisks are going to fly out of the base. These red Mutalisks are going to hit this base hard, I feel. Well, the Mutalisks aren't that far. But there's a lot more of these red Mutalisks. You can see in the mini-map that oh, look at them all. You can see that the third red expansion has gone down with the gold. They're going to attack the Spore Crawler. It should go out. Oh, they've stopped attacking it. It's going to take out Mutalisks while it fights the other Mutalisks. There's way more. They should win. They should win. Oh, here comes a second wave. Now it's going to be very even. And it looks like blue might actually clean it up. Had red taken out that Spore Crawler a little bit faster. Or that might have been a big difference here. But actually red lost. I'm very surprised by that. Red's being hard out-earned at this point. They're floating way higher on minerals. They're down 20 food. They were ahead, but they're not now. Blue's going to push out. There's going to be a big old roach fight here in the middle. And red's going to retreat to their spine crawlers, which are actually going to prove useful. Wow. Those awkwardly positioned spine crawlers are going to make a big difference because now, all of a sudden, blue's on the retreat. It's not that they necessarily have less roaches now, but they're definitely the lower army. That push was ill-advised. They need to get some serious anti-air quick. I want to see corruptors as soon as possible. But I mean that doesn't do much for those roaches. But they have the roach count, shouldn't be an issue. Oh, I see we have an infestation pit down for blue as well. And red is pushing out across the middle of the map. We're just looking around. There's an Evo chamber that hasn't really upgraded much of anything. And there's going to be a big fight here in a second once they flip over. But red has a much larger army. If you look at those army counts, there's corruptors, but there's not nearly enough of them for that many Mutalisks. They're just going to walk in and end this game. Yeah, they're going to attack this hatcher. There's the GG. That's the game. So I hope people definitely enjoyed this. If you guys, I'm going to post this on a couple places. If you guys have any comments or would like to see more of these overlays casts, feel free to give some tips. So thanks a lot. Sorry about the alpha casting. It was just like a proxy cast to demonstrate this overlay. Thanks a lot.